a year. Joining me now on the president's debt dance, South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham. Welcome back to the Glenn Beck program, Senator. It's good to see you.
Judge, how you doing? I miss you.
Thank you. Same here. Senator, I think we just witnessed the kickoff to the president's re-election campaign. What do you think?
I think he's getting religion because of the way the wind is blowing. I like the president personally, but his budget a couple of years ago, or a couple of months ago, did nothing on spending and entitlements. This is an effort to change his positioning, but it's a swing and a miss. He did this because of the pressure the public's putting on all of us up here to get serious about America's long-term indebtedness.
You know, I'm really confused by what he said, Senator. This is the same president who, as you know, just 4 months ago, signed into law an extension of the Bush-era tax rates. This is the same president who, when he ran 2 years before that, said he would never sign a tax break for people that he says are rich. This is the same president who really has accumulated debt at a rate faster than any president in American history, suddenly says we have to worry about the debt, but all that spending on all those social programs restated. All you folks on the left that were upset with me 4 months ago, it's the old Barack Obama back again.
And the one thing he didn't do is touch where the debt really is, and that's entitlement reform.
Right.
He did nothing about Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid. That is 57% of government spending. Today, with Rand Paul and Mike Lee, I introduced a Social Security reform bill that gets to solvency at a 75-year from now. It will be fully solvent. We adjust the age to 70 slowly but surely over time, and we means test benefits, and we don't raise 1 penny of taxes. To anybody listening to this program, tax increases cost Americans jobs. There's no other way to say it.
2 days before our taxes are due. I don't know if he looked at the calendar because they're due April 15th. He announces that he wants to raise taxes on the people the people that pay the most. Isn't this dead on arrival in the Congress today with 47 Republicans in the Senate and a majority Republicans in the House? He knows this isn't going anywhere.
Well, have you ever been to a party with somebody that really didn't want to be there?
Yes.
The president really doesn't want to be here. He's talking about things that he doesn't really believe in, and that's reducing the size of government. But he did not produce, even today, a budget that deals with our long-term debt issues. You cannot get America out of bankruptcy until you reform Medicare, Social Security, and Medicaid, and he did nothing about these entitlement programs. You can't get enough taxes from people making over $250,000 a year to begin to get us out of debt, and 40% of Americans don't pay any income tax, and the ones that are making over $250,000, 750,000 of them are small business people who create the jobs for our economy. It's a job killer.
Senator Graham, tell me where you think we're going to go in the long run, because in about 3 weeks, the president, and I think the Republican leadership may go along with him on this as long as they can get some concessions, will ask the Congress to amend the law to allow him to borrow more money. Now, he has borrowed more money at a faster rate, as you know, than any president in history. Today, as usual, he blamed it on his predecessors. But he's added $1 trillion a year. He wants to add another $1 trillion between now and October. He wants to add $1.7 trillion in the year following that. Is the Congress going to let him borrow at the rate at which he wants to? Are they going to let him borrow, period?
I hope that we will not raise the debt limit until we address why we're in debt. The debt limit being raised without fundamental reform is just a bad idea. It is feeding the system that exists today. What we ought to do is come up with entitlement reform before we raise the debt. Work together as Republicans and Democrats to do what Rand Paul and Mike Lee did along with me today. Show you can save Social Security from bankruptcy. You can wipe $5.4 trillion of unfunded debt off the table if you just adjust the age and means test benefits. I don't want to tax anybody, but in the future, at my income level, I would give up some future benefits for Social Security based on my income. Just don't raise my taxes because that hurts the ability to create jobs. I'm not going to vote for the debt ceiling increase until the Congress and the President assures me we're going to deal with why we got in debt.
All right. What is your opinion of Congressman Paul Ryan's proposals, which would cut far more than the President's in future years? And what will happen to those proposals when I think they are passed by the House later this week and end up on Harry Reid's desk somewhere?
I think Paul has come up with a very good plan. He did the hard things when it comes to entitlement. He didn't do a whole lot on Social Security, but when it comes over here, I imagine the demagoguery would start about his Medicare proposal. He takes Medicaid and he block grants it. He gives the money to governors to come up with programs to serve people. You know, in South Carolina, we have different health care issues than they do in California. So a block grant in Medicaid not only saves money, it helps people with a better quality of health care. Paul did that. So at the end of the day, Mike Lee, Rand Paul, and Lindsey Graham today showed the Congress and the nation how you can save Social Security from bankruptcy by continuing what Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill did, adjust the age from 67 to 70. At 2032, the new retirement age would be 70. And that's a long time away. You can plan for it, and we means test benefits.
Thank you for looking at me when you said that's a long time away. Is there any room in your ideas about saving us money for meaningful cuts in the Defense Department's budget?
There's some ways to reform defense spending, but in terms of GDP spending, the amount of money we spend as a nation on defense, we're at a historic low since World War II. But here's how you save money on defense. When you build a new weapon system, it's a cost-plus contract. Guess what? The contractor could care less how long it takes to develop the weapon because they get paid. And at the end of the day, the more it costs to develop the weapon system, the more they get from the government. Why don't you replace that system with a fixed price? Tell contractors, if you want to build weapons for the United States, you got to put 25% of the cost in development up front. When it's completed, it's going to be a fixed price contract, and any overruns you're on the hook for if you cause them. That could save hundreds of billions of dollars just by changing the way you do business.
That's that military-industrial complex thing Eisenhower warned us about. Senator Graham, Lindsey Graham, Republican from South Carolina, it's a pleasure as always. Thanks for being with us.
Go get them, Judge. Thanks.
You got it. And the president